Disclaimer, this channel assumes you talk to your DM and that you follow basic tabletop etiquette. If you want to know more about that, link in the description. Anyways, enjoy the video. I've been waiting more than a year for this build. 2025 Artificer is finally out. This build takes full advantage of magic item spam and crafting wands to the best of its ability. Its power varies a lot from campaign to campaign. Really, the more downtime and money this gets, the more powerful it becomes by huge leaps. If you play in a gritty realism game, then this is a god tier build. Artificer subclasses can create specific magic items in half the time than other classes. That could be stacked with a friend helping in crafting, so that time can be halved again. If we multiclass into Thief Rogue, we get a feature called Fast Hands, which lets us use a magic action as a bonus action. So if we craft a wand of Fireball, we can cast Fireball as an action, and then throw another one as a bonus action. It's double Fireball in one round. That's the build. Our goal is to make as many wands as we possibly can, and just gun everything down. That's sick! A build like this has many variants. The most optimal is going Artillerist 3, Thief 3, and then Wizard X. Another much more easier option is Artillerist X and Thief 3. But for this build, I want to go Martial for once, and this is one of the best Martials in the entire game. So get ready. Welcome to Pack Tactics, where at the end of this build, if we get Simulacrumed, we can cast 8 magic item spells in one round. By the way, I'm DMing in a castle in Peru, and I'm currently looking for players. I'll give you jungles and dragons. And bagpipes and gators. Yes, everything. I'll even bring my bagpipes. This experience is a true adventure. Not only do you get to explore the Amazon rainforest in real life, but I'll also DM for you professionally every day for 5 days straight. You'll get the ultimate Pack Tactics experience. And as you can see here, I'm kind of a psycho when I DM. I can DM for hours if you want. The campaign I have in mind takes place in Chult, of course, for the ultimate immersion. We gotta, of course, have a jungle campaign in the jungle. Kobold, the dragon on top of the castle breathes fire! This castle is super high quality. It's nicer and bigger than my house. I'm not joking. And the table itself is like space age technology. I've never seen anything like it before. This is top stuff. But that's not all! There's tons of other activities like exploring, painting minis, swimming. We're pretty close to a city, and maybe we get to see some caimans and other magical creatures. But Kobold! So yeah, special campaign in Peru. It's in a castle. I'm looking for 6 players. We'll be playing in fall or winter of 2026. Send an email to packtactics@outlook.com if you're interested or want more information. Anyways, back to the video. Now let's begin. The race pick is Wood Elf. The main features we care about is the 35-foot speed and the trance feature. With the trance feature, you only need 4 hours to get the full benefit of a long rest. So what we do normally in a long adventuring day is sleep 4 hours, wake up, and immediately craft for the other 4 hours while we wait for our party members to rest up. The bad thing about crafting in this way is you probably won't have a friend helping you, but keeping the item consistently in production daily is always good. At the end of the adventuring day, you can return to crafting for 4 hours and then long rest. And by the time you wake up, everybody else is awake. There's better ways to optimize this with your party. Like, if your party likes to rest cast, then you can squeeze more hours in and stuff. But yeah, I don't think getting the other 4 hours later is that hard with a party who really wants more resources, even when there is a little bit of time pressure. Wood Elf also gets Long Strider at level 3 and Pass Without Trace at level 5. We will absolutely be casting Pass Without Trace once we get it. It's gonna be our biggest spell throughout the entire game. That way, our entire party gets advantage on initiative, while the enemies have disadvantage. As for Long Strider, it's a good spell, but we won't be casting it for this build. We can't really afford it. We're mostly using our slots for shield, absorb elements, and the cannons. For Keen Sense, we pick Perception. Background, we pick Custom. The skill we want are Arcana and Stealth. Arcana is especially important. Without it, this build doesn't work. You have to have Arcana in order to craft a magic item. Stealth gives us advantage on initiative if we succeed. Origin feat is magic initiate. We're gonna pick up spells from the wizard list. Cantrip picks are Toll the Dead, just to have a damaging saving throw cantrip. And Blade Ward. When we're not stealthing, we're spamming Blade Ward as much as we possibly can. This is what we mainly concentrate on all the time. It will subtract 1d4 from enemy attack rolls, which is especially powerful in tier 1 play. Do not sleep on this. Together with your Scale Mail shield spell and this, you'll have an average of like, well, not really, but it's effectively like 23.5 AC. If you equip a shield, you'll get 25.5, which is a way better move for tier 1 play than going for the rogue angle. You'll just throw cantrips. That does mean you do less DPR, but whatever. Insane high AC is utterly broken in tier 1 play. Most mobs at this tier have like a 5 to 15% chance of hitting you if you equip the shield. One thing's for sure, as soon as you dodge, it's all 5%. If you get swarmed or you're just in melee, just dodge. Let your friends handle it, or use your cannons. They shoot with a bonus action. Then we probably won't be stealthing at all in tier 1. That changes once we get past Without Trace. And also in tier 3, Blade Ward doesn't become that good anymore. But anyways, the first level spell pick through Magic Initiate is the shield spell. Once we hit level 3, we change the spell into Magic Missile because of two things. 1, Artillerists gets their shield through their extra spell feature. And 2, we need Magic Missile for crafting wands of magic missiles. That's where our crafting begins, don't forget. Tool proficiency we pick through background will be calligrapher supplies to craft scrolls. We can craft true strike scrolls, but this build won't be taking advantage of that. I'm going all in on the wands because once you craft one of them, you get 7 charges, which recharge daily. I think that's way easier to manage. As for our stats, we're going 8 strength, 14 dexterity, 16 constitution, 17 intelligence, 10 wisdom, and 8 charisma. We won't be going for great weapon master because we only do 1 attack and the DPR increase is not impressive. In optimization, we can't go lower than 14 constitution. That's a big no-no for any build, including this one, especially for keeping Blade Ward and Pass Without Trace up as long as possible. They're way more important than a slight DPR increase, which comes later. Our main stat will be intelligence because it will help our cannons, Toll the Dead, and True Strike. We're going to be casting a lot of True Strike. Once we get many wands of magic missiles and other items like Wand of Fireball especially, then we stop caring about our actual DPR. We'll still improve it of course, because we might actually run out of resources. For equipment, we pick gold, so we have 200 gold to buy stuff. For now, we're picking Scale Mail, Shield, Light Crossbow, Dagger, Calligrapher's Supplies, Bedroll, Rations, Water Skin, Backpack, Bullseye Lantern, and Oil. Even though we have Dark Vision, I still buy Bullseye Lanterns, because more vision forward is awesome, it's a flashlight. Also, we might have friends who don't have Dark Vision, so that will help them as well. For this video, I'm not optimizing money here. I'm just naming them without checking the costs. So you might have to check my homework. By the way, keep in mind you have Tinker's Magic, so you can shave off some items on this list. Like, how often do you use rope? Now, don't get me wrong, rope is mandatory just like the 10-foot pole, but it doesn't come up very often. Another thing is you should buy all the tools you need for later, like thieves, tinkers, and woodcarvers. Tinkers and woodcarvers are especially important once you hit 3rd level. And you need the raw materials to create wands. As for mounts like riding horses, we're going all in on the crafting, and we get cunning action later. So for once on this channel, we're actually not going to bother with the mounts. For me, that's really weird. I always have a mount. By the way, if there's no frontline in your party, you're gonna have a hard time getting sneak attack off. Then you have to buy a mount to use steady aim on the horse. That way the horse can move for you and duck in and out of cover. The bad thing about that is you'll have a hard time using the cannons. And at that point, I recommend changing the build to Artillerist 3, Thief 3, and then Rest in Wizard. Eventually, you'll get Phantom Steed through the Wizard levels. Anyways, let's get into the levels. We go Artificer 1 for medium armor and shield proficiency, and constitution proficiency. We want Blade Ward up as long as we possibly can. The cantrip picks are Guidance and True Strike. We're going to be spamming True Strike and Toll the Dead. Once we get into rogue levels, we're going to be upgrading into a musket and go all in on the True Strike from there. Then when our shots are bad, like enemy has slight cover or we have disadvantage for whatever reason, then we'll cast Toll the Dead to force a save. All of this will be pretty easy to keep track of. Mostly everything we do will be cantrips. Spell picks, Cure Wounds and Absorb Elements. Cure Wounds is for when one of our friends is downed. Absorb Elements is for defense against casters. It's not useful now, but it will be much later. Skill picks, Investigation and Sleight of Hand. Tool pick is Smith's Tools. We might do something there with the party, who knows. You should really be going with what the party says here. Now to level 2. Spell pick, Sanctuary. It's in case you get completely surrounded and focus fired, but I think dodging will solve majority of your problems for cheaper. But whatever, you have it. Maybe you'll need it. It will probably be more useful at late game. Replicate magic items. In 2024, you're not allowed to pick the same item again. First, we're gonna pick Bag of Holding. Maybe we can craft another one later, just to have a no-save black hole, but that's something to consider at late game. We're just using this for storing for now. Alchemy Jug is actually really important for us, because it's a moneymaker. We can sell acids or poisons. Like, poison costs 100 gold normally. We only need 200 gold to start crafting our magic missile wands as soon as we hit level 3. Now, of course, every DM is going to price the sales differently, but either way, it's still a slow moneymaker to fuel future magic items. Every little bit helps. The third item is Spellwrought Tattoo. The first level variant is a common magic item. The spell we pick is Find Familiar. We're using an owl. We're gonna arm it with a wand later. You can give it ball bearings if you want. The last item is a musket. Heavy crossbow and longbow are great options too. Longbow especially for range. We get the proficiency as soon as we hit level 3 Artificer. Another thing to keep in mind is if you have a friend who has the Arcana proficiency but don't have the tool proficiency, then you can create a manifold tool for them. That's pretty easy. Now for level 3, we're now an Artillerist. Spell pick, Detect Magic or Identify. And we change our Magic Initiate spell into Magic Missile because the Artillerist gets shield. As soon as we buy Woodcarver's tools, we're going to immediately start crafting a Wand of Magic Missile. It costs 200 gold and it takes 2.5 days with a friend. On our own, it takes 5 days. Remember, we only need 4 hours of sleep, so either way, we're creating wands, and it's going to be really easy. It's going to take some time, but it's not going to be that much of a wait. If you kept the Alchemist Jug, then in theory, you should have enough money, but who knows. As for the cannon, we're going to keep it on our shoulder, Predator style. Once activated, they only last for an hour, so keep that in mind. That should be plenty enough, especially if you have 1 or 2 encounter days, which most people have. Or you're going into a dungeon, it lasts the entire dungeon crawl. But if you want more, which is possible of course, you have to spend a spell slot, which you don't have a lot of. But I think in majority of cases, you're going to be fine. Especially when you have 2 encounter days. Now for level 4, we finally go Rogue 1. We get sneak attack, so we're going to use our +1 musket as our main weapon from now on, and spam True Strike. The weapon mastery picks are longbow for sniping and muskets. They both have the slow property, remember that. As for expertise, we pick perception and stealth. Our score in Arcana doesn't matter for crafting. By the way, you can't sneak attack with the Force Ballista. They do a ranged spell attack, not a ranged attack. Next, level 5, Rogue 2. We're in tier 2 play, which means our cantrip damage scaled up. That includes our True Strike. We get Cunning Action, which will be good for getting away, and we finally get Passed Without Trace. We'll be casting this for our team to get Party Surprise. Now for level 6, our build is online. We're finally a Thief Rogue, and we have fast hands. Hopefully by now we have a Magic Missile wand or 2. If we're not using our cannons, we'll be using our wands. It's automatic 10.5 average damage as a bonus action. Easy. That's with 1 charge. With 3 charges, it's 17.5. We also get second story work, which is poor man's flight. If you see a building or a tree in combat, you should climb it and shoot down for safety. And lastly, you also get steady aim. This is used when you're completely out of resources, or you're long distance sniping. Keep in mind you can't move once you use this. Now let's do a DPR calculation. With your musket with True Strike, you do 11.2 DPR. Then with the cannon as a bonus action, we get 5.85 DPR. Altogether, we do 17.05 DPR. We're keeping up with majority of martials here, and we're doing it from range. I didn't account for cover in this calculation though. It will be a bit lower if we do, but still, it's okay. Keep in mind, and this is really important for the build, our cannon with Force Ballista pushes the enemy 5 feet. And our musket, through the slow property, reduces the enemy's speed by 10 feet. We're shaving off a lot of movement from this enemy, and then we can walk back 35 feet, or move into cover. So not only are we good at damage, we're also good at control. This is our main strategy for consistent DPR, especially if we run out of magic item resources. Our main power really is in the magic items. If we get a wand or two, let's say we manage to craft 2, our average damage with them is going to be 52.5 at level 6. And that's single target. We're going to be gunning people down. We can use an action to cast 3rd level magic missile through the wand. And as a bonus action, cast another 3rd level magic missile through the wand. That's 6 charges already. The last 3rd level magic missile comes from your familiar owl, which we arm with the other wand of magic missile. We almost blew all our wands in one round. By the way, don't use the last charge on the wands because they might break. Chances are very low, but it's still a gamble, so don't do it. Kobold, this is a crazy build. This is one of the strongest martial builds in the entire game. Once you get 2 wands of magic missile, you have several options really. The safest bet is just to continue to craft wands of magic missiles. If you've managed to get 2 right now, then that is proof that this clearly works. Keep printing them, and if you can afford half plates, then get half plate too. But if you want to take a little bit of a gamble, and you have a party member who has fireball prepared, you should ask them to help you craft a wand of fireball, because you can double cast fireballs, and that's a buttload of damage. The bad thing about it is it's going to cost 2,000 gold, and it takes 12.5 days, which is 100 hours. Another thing is you can't shave off the time through your trans feature. You have to have this friend with you the entire crafting time. But I swear to you, that painful process is worth it. You guys are making a nuclear bomb. Come on. If I was the wizard in that party, I would pitch in some money to help you, because this is worth it. I can't see a scenario where an optimized party would say no unless they're time pressured. If they have the money and time, they're going to do it for you. This is 7 fireballs, which you can double cast. Who the hell would turn that down? You'd have to be stupid. Now I know 2,000 gold is crazy for level 6, but I'm just giving you guys the general information right now so I don't need to talk about it later. And besides, you know your party better than I do. The safest bet is to continue to craft magic missile wands. But if you have that party member with fireball, you can at least talk to them about it. Maybe they'll go all in. Who knows? I would. So all we're doing now is increasing our sustained DPR while we craft wands? Yeah, and eventually that sustained DPR, I don't really like that word. It is sort of accurate here. That will eventually pass the average damage of the wands. And when we reach that point, we do a combination of both. If we manage to craft enough wands, we can turn that average damage into DPR. Then we've made it. That's the best scenario for this build. Let's move on to the next level. At level 7, we are level 4 Thief. The feat we pick depends on how your DM runs cover and how often you snipe from long ranges. In this picture here, our melee friends are providing cover for the enemies, rules as written. This happens all the time in dungeons. If your table rules that the enemies don't have cover here, then I recommend you grab Elven Accuracy and increase your intelligence to 18. Not only will this make your True Strike and Cannon slightly better, but it will also make your steady aim insane where you have a consistent way to get super advantage. I still recommend the cannons over steady aim, but you have it in case of sniping, or you're completely dry of everything, or you just don't want to use resources. At every single table I've played at, this counts as cover, so Spell Sniper is an automatic pick for me. It's a bigger DPR increase, and we we pick intelligence. Sharpshooter is another option which is better for sniping, but then we can't increase our intelligence. If you play in a dragon campaign, then go sharpshooter instead. Level 8, Thief 5, Sneak Attack improved. We have Uncanny Dodge in case we're out of shield. And we get Cunning Strike. The best option is the Trip, which we'll be spamming all the time. The cannons push 5 feet, the musket slows down the target by 10 feet, and the Trip makes it so the enemy has to spend half their movement to get up if they fail to save. So in total, they'll most likely have like 10-foot movement speed if everything lands, and they'll effectively only move 5 feet. You're forcing them to dash. And then you walk backwards 35 feet or go into cover. Making them fall is also a bigger DPR increase if you have a melee marshal in your party. That's a DPR increase for them, which is way more than that dinky little 1d6. Also, control is better than the d6. 1d6 is a meme. Level 9, Thief 6, Expertise in Arcana and Sleight of Hand. Level 10, Thief 7, Sneak Attack improved. We get Evasion, and Reliable Talent makes it so we're the best at skills and tools checks. Sweet. Level 11, Thief 8, our cantrip scales up. Feat pick is Elven Accuracy, Improve Intelligence. I already talked about this before, and right around the corner at level 12, which is Thief 9, we get Supreme Sneak, which is worth doing for your defense. Being invisible is awesome and you have super advantage. The only bad thing is using your cannons gets you out of the condition. Same with magic items, but you're fighting very safely. And that's sometimes better for damage dealt versus damage taken. Just to talk about dry DPR, your action with True Strike at level 8 Thief does 19.45 DPR, assuming you have Sneak Attack. That's more damage than using your Wand of Magic Missile at 3rd level, which is 17.5. So from now on, use your True Strike and then bonus action Magic Missile. Use the Trip as well. Your average damage is higher when it's combined with Super Advantage. I don't feel like looking for it. Just know that you're doing incredible damage. You do have the option to delve into True Strike scrolls, but I wouldn't do it. I would just go for the wands. Because as soon as you make one wand, you get 7 charges. Sure, the scroll is more DPR, but you only get 1 and they don't recharge. Level 13, Thief 10, Fey Touched, to max out your intelligence. The spell pick is Gift of Alacrity to improve our initiative. Level 14, Thief 11, Improve Cunning Strike. We can use Supreme Sneak and Trip together if we want. Yippee! Level 15, Thief 12, Alerts to improve our initiative further. With Gift of Alacrity, our initiative is pretty good. Hopefully we'll win initiative and throw double fireballs and stuff. Level 16, Thief 13. We can attune up to 4 magic items at once, and whenever we expend a charge from a magic item, we roll a d6, and on a 6 we don't expend a charge. Awesome. Level 17, Thief 14. Cantrip scales up. We also get Devious Strikes. Daze and Knockout are very strong, but enemies will fail to trip more often at these levels, which is more DPR. Level 18, Thief 15. We get Proficiency in Wisdom and Charisma, which is crazy. You got Proficiency in every single important save. Con, Wisdom, Intelligence, and Charisma. I've never seen that before. That's actually sick. Level 19, Thief 16. Let's improve it further. We pick up Lucky. This is a common late pick feat. We have 6 points to give ourselves advantage on saves. I feel very safe now. And finally, level 20, Thief 17. We get the strongest martial feature in the entire game, Thief's Reflexes. You can take 2 turns during the first round of any combat. You take your first turn at normal initiative and your second turn at your initiative minus 10. That means you can cast 4 spells off the first round through your magic items. If you get Simulacrum by the party, that's 8. The only negative with this is you're going to blow all your resources, but it's funny memes, so it might be worth doing. That's it for the strongest martial in the game. I hope you enjoyed it. I will definitely play one variant of it one day, but then I'm leaning into the 3rd multi-class, which will be Wizard. Anyways, end the video. If you're interested in going into the jungle with me, send me an email. Anyways, thank you for watching. Bye-bye!